Good morning again, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to our daily bread. Sorry, I didn't have a video yesterday for our morning devotion, and I'm here sitting at the butaka, and we'll talk about our morning devotion on our daily bread. What comes next? In Second Timothy chapter 4, verse 8, now there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day. And not only to me, but also to those who had longed for his appearing. Our devotion for today is giving us the idea of every circumstances and every trial has its end, and the brighter future and the brighter days will come to us. In this devotion, the writer uses the life of Martin Luther King. On the night of April 3, 1968, Dr. Martin Luther King gave his final speech. And he says, I've been to the mountaintop. In it, he hints that he believed he might not live long. He said, we've got some difficult days ahead, but it doesn't matter with me now, because I've been to the mountaintop. And I've looked over, and I've seen the promised land, and I may not get there with you, but I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes had seen the glory of the coming of the King. And the next day, he was assassinated. The Apostle Paul shortly believed his death, wrote to his protege Timothy, I am already being poured out like a drink offering, and the time for my departure is near. Now there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day. Paul knew his time on earth was drawing to a close, as did Dr. King. Both men realized lives of incredible significance, yet never lost sight on the true life ahead. Both men welcome what is next. Like them, may we fix our eyes on may we fix not on what is seen, but on what is unseen. Since what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. I was reminded still the life of Moses when they are about to enter the promised land. But he didn't. Hindi po siya nakasama to enter the promised land for so many reasons. He belonged to the generation that God forbid to enter the promised land. But God let him see the beauty of the promised land. He was never there. Been there. Hindi po niya naapakan ng promised land. Hindi po niya nakita before yung promised land. But nung malapit na sila doon, God let him see on the top of the mountain the promised land. And after that, God buried him. After that, he died and God buried him. Like Martin Luther, like Apostle Paul, like Moses, it seems days were difficult. It seems their days are full of trials and difficulties. But God let them see His promises. But God let them see the brighter future. But God let them see what comes next. Everything in this world is temporary. Everything in this world and our circumstances will come to pass. And it will come to pass. But what comes next to us is the promise of the Lord of redemption, the promise of the Lord of healing, the promise of the Lord of difficulties. COVID-19 is just circumstances. It's just an event that will come to pass. It is today, the moment is a tragedy. But tomorrow it will become only a history for us that reminds us of what is lies behind us, the problem and trials that lies behind us. but the brighter future and the glorious promises of God prevails. In ulitin ko, 2 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 18. So fix our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen. Since what is temporary, since what is seen is temporary, but what is seen is eternal. To reflect for this devotion, what is your understanding of this life's temporary nature? We need to understand that this life has its temporary nature and everything in it. COVID-19 has its temporary nature. Has its temporary nature. I'm hearing a news while ago in this DZMM with Ted Filon. He reported that China now has nasa pang-apat na lang siya sa pinakamaraming kaso ng COVID-19. At panlima siya sa pinakamarami ng uh, death. Okay? So, seeing those reports, it gives us a relief na China has the ability to contain and fight this pandemic kahit sa kanila nang galing. And they have their appreciation with their frontliners. Nung nagparade nga yung frontliners nila sa province ng Hubei, in the city of Wuhan, lahat ng tao lumabas sa kanilang kalansangan at pinalakpakan nila as if it is a celebration and a victory of the past epidemic on them, the past pandemic from them. Diba? They have their positive aspect. They have their positive outlook against the circumstances, against the trials and circumstances of our lives. Because it is only a temporary thing. Everything in this world is just a temporary. There comes next a brighter future for us. I have chosen this backdrop, a tarpaulin, dated November 30, when Baligatan Church of Christ has a concert, I think, Jesus Reign. Jesus Reign. Everything in this world, if we put Jesus reigning even into our circumstances, it assures us victory. It assures us victory. Jesus is the greatest doctor, is the greatest physician. Diba? How many times in the Bible it displays his power over sin? Diba? He bring back death to life. He bring back blind to sight. He bring back tongue that is deaf to ears that is deaf to hear, tongue that is mute to come to speaking. Okay, every sickness, the hemorrhagal woman come to healing, and every other example in the Bible of his healing. There is miracle, and I believe is still in the miracle. And the miracle is Jesus reigning into us. He is saying to us that it is just a temporary. He is showing to us the brighter future that we will have. Diba? So, I reflect and I understand that this pandemic is just temporary. And what is eternal is Jesus reigning in me. The second is we reflect, how do you think it plays into the life that comes next? Our life in this has its tribulation, has its trouble. But the life that is coming to us is glorious. Diba? If you read the Bible in Revelation, it says streets of gold, pearly gates. Diba? It says paradise. No more crying, no more pain, no more sorrow. And that is life that comes next. And I challenge each and every one of us. What is happening to us is just a temporary. There come to us a brighter future for us. The prayer is, Heavenly Father, help us to keep our eyes on you and not on our troubles and trials of this life. Fixing our eyes on Jesus, not on our troubles, not on our trials of this life. Ang ganda ng sabi ni Apostle Paul, fix our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen. Since what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. The things that comes next will be permanent and eternal if we put Jesus reigns in our life. Good day for everyone, and a good day to start again the challenge of hope, faith, and love for each and every one of us. Good morning again, and God bless.